Okay, here we are again. So we are live. I'm joined, well, like I said, I'm very excited to be joined by ArtistDutch today, or Paul as he's known in real life. I might sort of like flip-flop between calling you ArtistDutch and Paul. Doesn't really matter. That is your name. But look, really, like I said, I've been waiting to do this live stream because you're bringing out a very special collection called Heart for Heart. It's not your first collection on Bitcoin. But before we talk about what you've done as a Gamma partner and even what you were releasing beforehand, let's go right back. You know, ArtistDutch, tell us, just like you do as an art teacher and you're inspiring children through art, how did you get inspired? Where did you start? You know, was one of your parents an artist, or was it a teacher that inspired you? You can go right back to when you first picked up a pencil or a paintbrush or whatever, right through to today. And then, you know, we can go from there. But, you know, most importantly, welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Brett. And I was looking forward to it. And yeah, now it's time. So I'm happy that you asked this question because my father was my big inspiration. He was an artist himself. He was an abstract painter. And when I was very little, he already gave me some pencils, and we draw at the dinner table always. And in the weekends, I was always with him. He took me to nature. A lot of woods I saw and a lot of trees and everything. So my passion for nature became there, and he took me to all kinds of musea, looking to the big artists and tell everything about it. And he knew so much, man. And yeah, that's when I really started. And when I was like 10 years old, he said to me like, okay, now let's forget about the pencils. You can now. You get a blank canvas from me, like totally white, and you get 3 colors of me, and you paint with real brushes. And I was like, I'm 10 years old. I can really be in a studio all alone with this canvas and with this brush. I was like, okay, yeah, it's good. So he trusted me like with his materials, and then I made this monster thing. And the next day I woke up and he had framed it and put it on the wall in the living room for everybody to see it. So I was like, what? My father, who always, I went to galleries with him and exhibitions and everything. And now my painting is in the house, you know. So it was a great feeling that he made me do that. And he was very smart because he gave me 3 colors. I couldn't mix up, I couldn't mess up, right? So yeah, that was really cool. And then, well, my father always took me to all kinds of exhibitions and things. And then when I was 30 years old, and I always painted like Van Gogh, and I tried to copy things. So I was always busy with those kind of things, but never did an exhibition or let people see with beyond my own family. So now this what was I telling? I don't know. I don't know anymore.
That's okay. Yeah, you were talking about, you know, on your journey, and you turned 30, and you know some of your
30. That was it. So my father had cancer. Mm-hmm. So he phone called me. He said like, I have a half year to live. So can you please come and I want to talk with you. And it was a hard time. And then he knew he's gonna die like 2 days before. And then he said to me like, okay, you were always there with me like for the paintings and everything. So all the blank canvases that I have upstairs in the studio and all the paint, that's all for you. And then my other the watch was for my brother, and this was for them. He already gave it all away when he was alive. So yeah, so I had all those things at my home now. And I thought like, I have to do something with it. So that's the thing that was the day that I really began painting and put all my emotion in. And it was just a great time because it was like an escapism for me also to be in that paint with my father in my mind, of course, and painting and doing the things that he loved to do. And yeah, and then I had a lot of paintings, and then I knew somebody from a big furniture store here in where I live, and I asked like, can I put them on the wall there? And then they sold, and I made money with that, and then I thought like, okay, I'm gonna buy more paint, I'm gonna buy more canvases. So then that was the way to build up, and then after I sold a lot, then I opened my first gallery, in nearby city, and then later on I opened a new gallery, because the first gallery I did with 4 people together. Like I was there Sunday, the other was Monday, and the other was there. But then at one day I thought like maybe I can do my own. So I get a big gallery in the hometown where I live, and it's over a bridge. It was very nice, very big. And then and one day I get into the NFTs, because I saw like, oh, you can put art on chain. And I heard about NFTs and everything. So I thought, oh, I have this great idea. So I had this enormous big painting I made from 5.5 meters long and 3 meters high. So that's a really big painting.
That is huge.
And I thought like I'm gonna shoot 101 photos of it. So, and then I'm gonna make a project on ETH, on OpenSea. I put it there. And I sold all 101 pieces to all kind of people all over the world. So now it was so cool to have one painting that now has like 101 owners all over the world, instead of one man buys a painting in my gallery, hangs it in his house, and only his family can enjoy it. Now a lot of people can enjoy all those little smart abstracts. Because when I paint and I make a painting, I always want that the square inch, every square inch, if you zoom in, it has to be like an abstract painting on itself. So that's what my father always learned to me. You have to make like a living painting. It has to live by itself. So you can do that with all kinds of techniques. I use a lot of structures and dripping, and always when I paint, I want the painting to make it itself. So not that I'm the controller, but the paint is the controller. The movement is the control. So I'm not painting from my wrist like my daughter. She's very realistic, but I paint from the shoulder. So if I stand for, I'm totally exhausted when I'm done with the painting, like after 2 hours, because I'm splitting and I'm sometimes with 2 hands at once, and I'm totally in like a kind of trance, making that painting. But then afterwards, when I look at the painting, I think like, was I doing this, or was it just created by itself? And I love the dripping effect, like put a lot of water into the brush, and then smash it on top of and then it drips like, because you never know where the drips go. So the painting makes itself, and it's the same with dripping and splattering. You never know where the splatters come. And I have some other things like with the goose feather. I have a goose feather. I put it in the water with a lot of black, and then I do it like I tracked it so, and then I have all like small points, and I put it on the canvas, and then I make a stroke with it, and that stroke is also it goes its own way, because there is a lot of structure on the painting, and I like to paint like. Well, I'm a big fan of Van Gogh. He's from the Netherlands also, but Van Gogh, if he makes like yellow dots and red dots next to each other, your eye makes it orange, you know. But I try the same, but then on top of each other. So I make a red underlayer, then I put the structure on, and then I put the brush, I put it on the side, and then I took some yellow, and I go on the structures. So only the upper layers of the structure will take the yellow paint. So the red comes through it. So then you not like Van Gogh next to each other, but more on top of each other. And that's something that I do in every painting. Every painting has 7 layers always, like underlayer, this layer, that, and dripping, and then it's done. Final things. I love it to do, man. It's just so great. But that's my journey into that thing. And then after when it was sold, I had the feeling like, okay, I have to do some utility because there is so much utility. You have to do something with utility. So I thought like, hey, what if people, if they buy a piece of this one project, then the utility will be like, send me your greatest NFT and I will print it and I will frame it and I will hang it in the gallery. So your NFT is in a real art gallery. And then I thought, oh, this is great because a lot of people love that. And then I thought, let's make this gallery that I have into the first NFT gallery ever, the biggest one. And I did that. So one day there were no normal paintings anymore. I had no exhibition partners, no other artists, only people from all over the world exhibiting their NFTs. At that time, only NFTs. Later on, a little bit ordinals, but that was just a time later. But it was great, man. And I had for instance, the Bored Ape Jar Club from Franklin, the Golden Ape. Maybe you know that one. I had contact with him, and I had in a big frame when people walk into the gallery, that ape was there, and it was a fantastic time. Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell from the way that you speak, you're very enthusiastic, very passionate, very motivated. You must find this space. I guess, yeah, like it fills you with a lot of passion. Let's go back because it's quite the story. Thanks for sharing about your dad. He was clearly hugely impactful for you, and I am sorry for your loss. And it seems like you've turned your relationship with him and how he, I guess, like molded you into an artist, right through and always into what you create. Did you study art, or was it just through practice? You talked about some of the techniques you've developed. Obviously, Holland is a very famous country for artists. Like, to name a few, like Bosch, Mondrian, Vermeer, Van Gogh, Rembrandt, like the list goes on. It's a pretty amazing country, for historical artists. But, like what else impacted you? How did you learn?
Yeah, well, I learned when I went to school, I had to take, all kinds of things, like I can choose English, I can choose math, I can choose all kinds of studies. But my father always said, like, man, please take drawing and in Netherlands it's called handvaardigheid, is building things with your hands and drawing. He said, please do that because that's something that you have way more in your life in art than all those other studies. So I was like, okay, I will do art, and I was really good at it. So I felt very good at it. But then I had a chance to go to art school or to go to teacher school, and my father said, like, okay, well, art, you can do art, of course, but they will teach you things. They will mold you in kinds of things, and I think you have a talent that you can maybe you can do it without that. Please do first a job where you that you really want from your heart, and that was working with children. So that's another passion. Working with children is the best there ever is. I'm so how do you say it? So privileged to be a teacher and being around kids all day. I know I have 6 kids myself, but to be like 29 kids in a classroom and just helping them with what they want to learn, but first how they are living their lives, like feeling good, no bullying, really feeling good about themselves. And I'm teaching them the whole day, every day. I speak with them about those kind of things instead of math and language. I mean, they will learn that, but the other things are very important. And yeah, it's just, I'm so happy that I can be a teacher. But my father said, like, okay, then you be a teacher. I'm very proud of you, and the art will come for yourself, and you can be an autodidact. You don't need that. And it's the same now with my daughter. She's so autodidact. Yeah. Of course, she can read books about art and everything, and then study herself. But here in the Netherlands, if you go to art school, you don't know for sure if you get a job and you can build yourself money to live. You know, sometimes I see when I had a gallery, I had some really good artists, but they couldn't sell their art. They couldn't do anything. It was so difficult for them, so they didn't sell. They really needed people from gallerists, and they all took like 40-60%. So it was like it's very difficult for some artists to have a life, normal life, you know. So my father said, like, do that job, and then you have an income from the government, and then you can do the art as a side thing. And I was very happy with that, because now I'm able to be with kids all day, and the art whenever I like. So and and now with this new Web3, I'm always searching for the new things, new things. So with this art project, it's very new. It's not done before, and that's what I like. And with the one project, it's not even done now with the one project, because the first was 101 pieces. But when they were all sold, I sliced the whole big painting, in real life painting, I sliced it in pieces. And then everybody was like, what are you doing, this big painting? Why are you slicing? I said, it's sold. It's sold? Yeah, it's sold. It's now on the blockchain. And but my next phase will be like I'm gonna rebuild it like a mosaic with all the little pieces into a new painting. And that I put on Bitcoin. And based, it's now called Push Culture. Mm-hmm. It's led by Bean and a lot of more people.
Shout out to them just quickly. Shout out Push Culture. I can see. Yeah, legends.
Yeah, he's really a friend of me, but he's a really great curator for artists, and he helps artists. He helps building. He helps other communities to push the culture. So that's now the new name. We have to push the culture. I'm a community manager also there. So big shout out to them. And but they helped me curate my whole project. And so because I asked him, can you help me to get this on Bitcoin? I don't know how to inscribe. I don't know how that works, but I want to do it on Bitcoin because it's immutable. It's not like ETH. Maybe that project is gone. If OpenSea quits, then my whole project is gone. So on Bitcoin, it's different. So I'm now so happy to be an artist on Bitcoin, and a partner artist at Gamma also. So I'm very proud of it, and I'm gonna build my legacy. I want to build my legacy, but I will come later on that.
Yeah, for sure. And it's fascinating. You know, like you said, it's really preserving your work. It's being preserved on Bitcoin, and that's no knock on any other chain. Of course, everyone started somewhere and they all serve a purpose. And I think every blockchain is a playground for different experiments, and it's what you decide to put where and what you think about you need to put on Bitcoin, because there are obviously different costs and constraints and whatnot. But before, we talk about your work on Bitcoin, which is very special, and the Heart for Heart collection. And we'll get into the teaching because I think it's super fascinating what you're doing. But talk to us a little bit more about the gallery. How is it all perceived? Like when you had the NFT art printed and up, what questions did you receive? You know, there's still this kind of, I don't want to call it like a gap, but there's still this kind of bridge being built between the traditional and the digital art world, particularly the tokenized digital art world. And you're sort of like dancing between them both.
Yeah, it was a difficult time, because when I changed it, people came into the gallery and they said, like, where is the art? Where is the art? I say, this is art also, but this is the future. And they're like, oh, the future, I want to see a normal painting. I don't want to see a print and where I have to scan the QR code, because I had all kinds of QR codes, and then they scan it and then they see it online. And they're like, what is an NFT? Dus I was more like a teacher all day to people to explain what NFTs, crypto, blockchain. I was constantly doing that. But on the other side, I was so happy that I could do it because I was a pioneer. So I was balancing like, okay, constantly explaining to other people that don't know it, and then walk away like, well, this guy is crazy, you know, but it doesn't matter to me. But, so I liked it also, but it was like, there were less and less people coming to the gallery. But I thought like, well, Yeah, it doesn't matter, man. This is just so fun. And one elder man, he came in with his wife, and he was like, "Okay, this is a great painting from a nude girl floating there in the sky." I said, "Well, you have to scan it." So he scans it, and then it came alive, like a GIF. So it was turning around, and he was like looking at his phone, like, "What did?" I could see it that he was really like, "Whoa, this is amazing." I said, "Well, this is digital art, and this is now the future." And that was like 4 years ago, and now it's very normal to have the digital art and all scrubbing and everything. But then it was really cool. So it was COVID came also, so that was a difficult time. And then my fifth and my sixth kid came, and I thought like, okay, I'm gonna close it now down. And the man also said like, okay, we have to close it now down. And it was a great moment to stop the gallery. So now I'm only focusing on Web3, making art for Web3, and more focusing on my family and my teaching. But always creating, always creating.
That makes a lot of sense. I myself am a dad as well. I don't have six. I have two with me. So six is very busy, and you're a teacher, and you're, pursuing art in this way. You must be very, very busy. Funnily enough, before I worked at Gamma, I was a teacher as well. I had a career change after COVID. So I was a teacher, same as you, primary school, we call it, same as elementary, for almost 10 years, actually. So I completely get where you're coming from. I loved it as well. Tell us about it. You've very, quick thanks for my personal project. Your kids drew the birds of a feather today, but, you've gone through so many of the projects, but you also must be, it's funny. You're exposing them to digital art, but for them, it's quite normal to just have digital ownership. I'm sure like the gap, the understanding of it it's like when you speak to some older people in your gallery, it must have been harder for them to grasp. But when you explain it to kids, or like my kids, they're like, cool, we own stuff digitally. It makes sense. Like
exactly.
they're going to grow up with it. But yeah, tell us all about it. It's very special. And you're also exposing them to so many just different art styles and collections and artists and the whole Web3 thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think I did now like 40 plus projects, and yeah, the kids love it. I mean, every time because I'm a substitute teacher, so I get not all the time the same class. So I have then kids from 6 years old, sometimes next day 10 years old, then 12 years old. So I come everywhere, so I can teach them all about these kind of things, and the kids really understand it. It's very easy. I say, okay, we have a blockchain, we have crypto. Okay, yeah, they all know crypto. The kids know it. I say, okay, do you which crypto do you know? And then they all know Bitcoin, of course. And then, well, some Ethereum, but that's it, So Bitcoin, they all know. And then I say, like, okay, do you know that you can write on that Bitcoin, just on that computer file, the little smart, it's like a Satoshi, and you can print like an image on it. I will show you. And then they understand it. So I was like, what? This is really great. And then, I show them the marketplaces, and then they say like, huh? Bought a yacht club, is it like 200 ETH? That's like, 600 million? How's that possible? I said, yeah, well, they ask 200 million, but it doesn't mean that they get it. And then, so the whole market thing, I can explain so much by just going to the marketplace, explain something about crypto, red and green candles, and sometimes I do also, and then I'm always buying the high, so they like, yeah, instead of buying the low, but I say, you cannot do it, you have to ask your father and mother, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I will never take pictures with them with their face on it, and put it online, and all those kind of things. And sometimes people say like, oh, do the kids have wallet addresses, and I can give them something from our collection? I said, no, that's not possible, because I cannot do it. All kinds of things with parents and with the principals who say like, what are you doing with those kids? But they really understand the art. And I did only the cartoon collections, like the Pizza Ninjas and all. The cartoonish. And then I thought like, why I don't do like the artworks from Gamma, like artists? So I did like so Louis, I did Mila, C,
Eka, Lemon Haze, I've seen. Yeah.
Eka, yeah, all kinds of great lemon haze, great. And so, and now you see that they can do that also, but they have more. With the cartoon, it's very easy for them to copy exactly one of one. But with this lemon haze or with Mila C or with Zoe Louis or whatever, it's almost impossible to copy exactly. So they have to make their own creative mind more thinking. And I see that. So I like that very much. Yeah, they like it also. Every time when I say like, okay, we're gonna draw, oh, Magic Eden. So yeah, Magic Eden. Gamma. It's really great to see. Yeah, I love it, man. And for me, it's a great day because when I drive there and I know I'm gonna do this, in my head is already like, oh, so for today, I will say the example for you. I thought, okay, tonight I have this interview with this Brad. He's now lying in bed. Let me do this, and then I have so much fun in my head already because I know that you would love it, you know.
Yeah.
So my whole day is good. The kids are really happy doing it, and I also tell them like, okay, I have an interview tonight, and and I want to do this collection from this guy. Do you want to help me? Oh yeah, we want to help you, and they draw, and I make pictures. And then I make the edit at home, and I'm happy myself. And then I post it, and I think like, okay, let's wait for Ellie to wake up because he's sleeping.
Yeah,
I like that so much, man. Just giving love, you know. I want to make you happy. It makes me happy. That's all what I am about. I'm a big Michael Jackson fan. I cannot say that I'm not. So Michael Jackson is a very big inspiration for me. Like when I was 10 years old. Along with my father, of course, but he taught me like how to live your life and always give and always be nice to each other. Then you have a good life yourself. And I teach that the kids also. If you be nice to other people, you see them smile. That makes you smile. They go to home, their mother and father smiles because you had a good day. So they at work are smiling also. So you create this loving thing by only saying one nice thing to someone, and you have to. Everybody has to know that you, if you want to make the world a better place, you gotta take a look at yourself, make that change. It's so very easy to do, and once you know how to do it, then it becomes natural to do it like everywhere, and then you create a positive vibe, and that's why I make my projects and what I do.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You know, you can see the smile on your face. It's very contagious. And it's a great lesson. It's so funny because when I was teaching the students online during COVID, when we had quite strong lockdowns in Melbourne, I was like, no one's really watching what I'm teaching. So I did a whole maths unit on Bitcoin. A little bit like you, I was like, I'm just going to teach the kids this stuff because it's super relevant and it might not be specifically on the curriculum, but you can definitely link it in so many different ways. But you know, you really like, it's not a big jump for them to grasp that stuff, like you said. And, you know, and then linking in there's maths and design and thinking and problem solving and all of these amazing strategies. And you're also exposing them to like modern day contemporary artists using the blockchain as the medium. And who knows, I think in years that this era will be studied. So these kids will be like, oh wow, I drew whoever, you know, I don't want to name names because we don't know who it's going to be. I drew so-and-so when I was in primary school, and now they're, you know, quite a revered, famous, studied artist. Who knows? So it's really cool stuff, and that includes yourself. You know, do you show them your own work?
Well, not yet. Not yet. No, yeah. Well, sometimes I do, but I don't have the time when I'm a substitute teacher. So the kids that I normally had in the classroom, they knew what I all did with this and this, and I showed them the thing that I put on the moon, and the thing that I did with the thriller, and all kinds of things I teach them. Because I want them to know that if you really want something, you really go for it, you can do it. So I did things that I never thought before when I was a kid, like that's possible. I always look up to Michael Jackson like that is impossible. But he thought like if you really want something, you have to study the greatest and become greater. And you have to do that. And you can do it. so I was always like, okay, and now I grew up and I have this idea like, okay, what would it be cool if I go dancing with all kids of the whole town? There's like 1,100 kids on the square in the city, and I teach them all to do the thriller dance, and we do it all together. Instead of with sports tournaments, we go against each other. You know, I want to do something together, like being one with each other. And then I organized it, and I was like busy like for 1 year, and then I did it. And then they created this big red heart because they had all red caps on the face, and from above there was a photo taken of a big heart of the kids singing "We Are the World, We Are the Children, We Are the Ones Who Make a Brighter Day, so let's start giving." And that photo was going to Brazil, from the Netherlands to Brazil, and then it came in America, and it came by michaeljackson.com. So it was posted on the Facebook of the official Michael Jackson page. And I was sitting scrolling in the evening, and I, what? This is a picture of my event, you know, what I did with the kids. I was so happy that all those kids the next day like, oh, we are famous. There are like 70 million followers, Michael Jackson, and we are there. Those things that I have in my head, I just can't create it. You can do anything you want, and sometimes it takes like for a year. But I mean, if Michael Jackson made a new album, it was like 5 years he did one album. He didn't do an album like 1 year, or every day a new print. You know, a print. No, you do projects that really make something different, and it's really pioneering, but that takes time. So I'm not putting out like art every day. I want to do something that like the project with the hearts. It's like 777. You cannot imagine how much time it costs to make them all, like 7 layers. But I thought like I want to do that, and I don't want to do like 222. I want to do the magical number of Michael Jackson. He always had like 777 on his shoulder, on his bracelet, and he said like for every, I will always wear this thing when, as long as children hurting in this world and suffering in this world, I will have this bracelet. That's why he always had this band, you know. So and it's 777 it said. So that was an angelic number for me, and I go for that number. And then it takes me 3 years. It doesn't matter. I want to do that. So yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. You know, really like committing yourself to it and pursuing it, and it being that ongoing project. So I'm going to pull up some of the collections that you've released, at least on Gamma, you know, and I know that you started on ETH. You know, before we sort of talk about some of this, we can see a bit of a cohesive style, and then we'll definitely dive right into Heart for Heart. How did you, you know, who introduced you to NFTs or crypto? How did you find OpenSea and begin that first project to sort of get you on your way? Because obviously NFTs came before ordinals, and most, if not all, artists started somewhere else before they released their first works on Bitcoin. You know, what was your journey into it? Did you just come across it? Did you have someone who introduced you to it?
I came across it myself on the news. I always was looking at the news, and then I think it was like the people thing. Like it was a big news all over the world, you know, like 69 million for an artwork. Let's see what kind of art is that. And I saw a Banksy. I saw a video of a Banksy that was burned. So the original Banksy was burned. But the digital version of it was more worth than the Banksy itself. So that's why they burned it. And I was like, how is that possible? And I was intrigued by it. Like, what is that then, digital art? And why, and what's on the blockchain? And that's why I looked into it. And that was something that came into my mind. So I read it myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And then if we have a look, like you said, you have this. They're all different, of course, but they, there's a cohesive style, and you've got these phrases like leaving your legacy and always in my heart, make that change. I didn't really, now it makes sense that you're a Michael Jackson fan. But yeah, tell us about this. You're sort of like preserving a message. It's almost like the teacher in you is coming through in your art in these styles as well. In these collections as well.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. I mean, I wanted to do something from my artwork, but with the lyrics of Michael Jackson. So I wanted to create something with him together, but he's not here anymore. So I want to be like a collaboration between someone I admire, but already dead, and with myself, of course. And then the artworks that I make, they are all like. That's how I work with all the abstract styles. Sometimes you see a tree in it, okay, but it's not a normal tree. And then I thought like, okay, I want to do like these amazing songs. And I started, I think, with Earth Song. So that's the collection, What About Us.
Okay, so I'll pull that up.
Yeah, so What About Us is like, well, in this song, What About Us? Because a lot of people think like, okay, what about us? That means like, we as people, what about us? Are we gonna die? What do we have to do? I mean, that's normal. But Michael said in an interview, he wants to be the voice of the animals and the nature. And then he's saying, what about us? So he's telling to us people, he says like, hey, what about us? We are living here also. We are trees. We are living here. What are you doing to us? So that's a different kind of, and that's what Michael was all about. Like, it was not his messages were like that. So yeah, I really like that. So that's why there are trees in there. I think you see like something like a tank. And you see like ships there and all kinds of lyrics, and I did with that collection also like the branches that you see, like the black branches. That's something that is like put in there as like a stamp. So it's like a little bit digital, but also my in real life paintings. You see, my in real life painting is like the background. Yeah, and the white trees, the birds also, but the text and the stamps and the things that you see in the background, those are digital photographs or all kinds of things. So this is my first. These 4 collections are my only collections that I put like digital and in real life together. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, which is a really interesting juxtaposition, and then it's being preserved. It's showing that sort of like mixed media, your styles, your different, creative processes. So, if I pull up, for example, this collection, which is Leaving Your Legacy, which we were talking about before, talk us through your process. Like where does it start? You have, we can see like a range of different colors, a range of different messages, but obviously like a cohesive message. And I guess style across them, but they're all unique one-of-ones in their own sense too. Like when you're coming up with a collection, I know this is a bit of a broad question, but you must have a concept, and then, tell us about how you get from concept to execution.
Yeah. Well, I go into my paintings that I have on my computer, and then I'm gonna take like a part of it. So it's never a whole complete painting that you see here. It's all what I said before. Every square inch has to be like a painting. So here you see like maybe if I go into the painting where you see maybe only like this size of a painting. You see there as the background. So that way you see a lot of structures, because if you're really close at my painting, you see a lot of structures. I can show you, like I have here my. Let's see if I can show it to you.
Oh yeah, we can see it.
Oh, this is a big painting of me in my house. You see?
We can.
So yeah. So if you can you see the. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. But it's a lot of structures, and if you looked into my paintings, and I take a photo from really close, then you see the structures more and more. So that's that's what I like a lot about doing this. And then I take the I do not do anything with the colors. So I stay with the colors that are in my real paintings. And then I put like the trenches. I put the trenches from another painting. I have those trees, I mean, and those trees I put like a layer onto the original painting. And then I'm gonna look like, oh, which text do I have to use? And then when I have the text and it's going about war, then I try to find pictures of war. And if it goes, if the text goes that you are not alone, that's another collection, then I try to get pictures where people are feeling alone, sitting alone on a tree. I get that emotion. So yeah, that's how I compose it, and then you get the painting. And I like to make one of ones. So I know that on Gamma you can do like prints, but I'm just used to make in real life paintings and not prints. And I can understand people do prints, but I'm just not want to do prints.
Yeah,
So
I think that there's something for every artist, of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's not for me. It's like I want to do a one-of-one, and then if it's sold, then then it's away. There's only one people that have that picture. So that's why I did the big collection also. Like it's all one-of-ones. There will never be one the same.
Yeah, which is obviously very special for the collectors as well. And then recently you released, and I think it's somewhat ongoing. Oh, sorry, this is Make That Change. I meant to pull up Raw. Raw.
Man in the Mirror. Make that change. Yeah.
I'll pull that one back in a minute. But if we have a look at Raw, this one, it looks like Raw. It looks like there's a lot of emotion. There's a lot of passion. You can see, almost through the color choice, like strong sensation or feeling which has gone into these. These are one of ones as well, and I believe that there's original physicals as well, of these two. But yeah, tell us about these. And it's so interesting, much like Zoe does and Tamara Rienzi, and there's a few other artists that, like yourself, create these physicals and then preserve physicals onto Bitcoin, which is very interesting because everyone also loves physical art, and it's what's more like commonly known. But physical art is very ephemeral. Physical art can, you can lose it. It can get damaged. Maybe your toddler, I don't know, rips it up, or maybe hopefully touch wood. It doesn't happen, but there's natural disasters, or the house can burn down. So there's this interesting kind of like tensional relationship between the physical and digital, and these digitals on Bitcoin at least, for as long, as far as we know, these are preserved. These aren't going away. It's must be quite an interesting thing for you to have that relationship with both.
It's amazing. It's amazing. And I will put all these are only like 6 pieces. And I didn't want to compress them too much. So yeah, you have to pay, of course, the inscription. That doesn't matter because it's such a great thing to put art on Bitcoin. It's just the feeling of what you said before, like you preserve it for all time. If this painting will be sold to someone in America, and I will send the original to them, because these raw pieces, they are not like close-ups. These are the real paintings, like the big size paintings, like meter by meter, this size. So really big. And if you buy one, I send it to you with the post, and then you get the original, of course, also. But what's so cool about this, I sold a lot of paintings like this, like these paintings, but I never see them again. I have them on a photo, but that's it. But these will be preferred for my kids to see forever. Like, what did my father used to paint? Because they can look at this, they go to Gamma, they go to Raw, and they see this collection from their dad, and it's sold, they cannot, they can buy it maybe from that doesn't matter, but they can see what I did forever. And that's so cool about putting it on Bitcoin. So I would love, and that's I would love to see all the paintings that my father made, but they are all sold, and he never made pictures out of it. So I don't know what's all in the Netherlands by all kinds of families hanging on the wall. I don't even know what my father made. Of course, I know a lot of them, but maybe 50-60% I never saw, because it was already sold when blah blah blah, and I was very young. So, but my kids can now always go to Gamma and see, like, okay, so this is what father made, and that's so cool about it.
Yeah, it's really fascinating actually. Like it's that historical preservation, but it's also like this public gallery, not just on Gamma, but the fact that it's on Bitcoin. So anyone who builds an Explorer can always read that data and showcase what's on Bitcoin, which means that, you don't lose sight of what your family created. I know, this more broad, it's obviously like just more broadly speaking, but even with a lot of, Aboriginal art in Australia, a lot, which some of it obviously with artists that have become quite famous, and it's sold for a lot, and the art's moved overseas, and it's very like culturally significant to perhaps like the tribe that it belonged to, for example. But then for generation after generation, they never get to see that. They only really hear stories of it. So this allows that ability to always be able to view it. You might not be able to hold it, obviously. You might not be able to see the original, but you can always view it. And it also means that it's so portable because it can come back. You've packed physical art. It's not an easy thing to do. In comparison to selling digital art, it moves so freely and easily.
Yeah, but can you imagine how cool it would be if Van Gogh had this opportunity to put all his work on chain so that everybody can see it right now? There is so much lost, But if he put it all on Bitcoin, man, and we could see it now. Yeah, it would be cool, man. All the Picassos or all the paintings that are never found or are on attics or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Even packed away in like a lot of art is obviously up in galleries, but galleries also have just like call it an attic. They have just like storerooms full of art that doesn't even go out, and so people don't get to see it and don't get to learn from it and get inspired by it or whatever. So it is super fascinating. This has been a wonderful chat. Let's finally talk about Heart for Heart. We can just look at it here. Obviously, it's hasn't started minting yet, so we haven't seen the collection go live. But talk to us about this collection. I saw you picked up one of the physicals before. There's 777 of them. I think you'll have to correct me. It's been over a year or a couple of years of work of, since you, I guess, first began the concept. But yeah, start from the start. What is this collection? Why is it so special to you? What are you doing with it? Show us some of the artwork. Take the floor.
Yeah. It's this collection is more about me. Like what I do with the kids, what I do for other people, what I like to do. Just giving love and be nice to each other, and get a lot of love back from that. And I just thought, like, okay, I'm gonna make like hearts, and a part of the proceedings I will give to kids that have heart failure. So in the Netherlands is number 1 disease where kids get to die from, and I think in all the world it's like heart failure. And I thought, like, okay, then I'm gonna make hearts because it's love, and it's for me easy to make like maybe 777. Then I'm gonna draw all kinds of hearts in all kinds of colors, standing for all kinds of colors all over the world, and then make this collection as big as possible, as like 777. Because what I did with the one project, it felt so good to have like 101 people all over the world having one project. So this is possible, of course, with collections on Bitcoin, on ETH, or whatever chain. But I wanted to do the hearts, and I painted 777, all in 7 layers. And yeah, I hope just that if they are all minted out or whatever, people will love it. And I thought like I want to give the original also, because I didn't do that with the one project. I did it like a big print with the ones on Bitcoin. People could redeem a big physical one, but it was not an original painting. It was a print. And now I thought like, okay, I'm gonna make those 777 pieces. If people mint one, I set the price, including the shipping. So if you buy one, you don't have to pay for the shipping. It's including, and I'm gonna send it to you, to your doorsteps, and then you can frame it like this. So this fits exactly in like a frame from IKEA. So I took the measurements exactly like that it fits. And then you can like give it as a perfect crypto gift to your wife or whatever, because I'm always in ordinals, I'm always checking, I'm always doing, you know. And then she said like, are you always in this crypto and all those things? And where did you buy? Yeah, an ordinal. Oh, this is all digital. But what if you buy one heart and now you can give your wife like, okay, but this is all, I have a new ordinal. This is this heart. Some procedures go to heart failure for kids, but also I have this heart for you. So I thought like this is giving love. Through me, a lot of love will be given through this heart. And that's just what I do all day with the kids and everything. So it was just normal to take that it came into my head like this. So yeah, that's it. And now I have all kinds of hearts, all kinds of colors. And yeah, it's they are all autographed and they are all numbered. And the number here will be exactly the same number as the ordinal that you get. If you buy, then you have to go to the Discord. So Bean from Push Culture said like, okay, Paul, do you want to have your own Discord? I said, well, is that possible? I'm not so good at it. And he said like, well, you can use the Discord of Push Culture. So nice. I'm very thankful of that. And then people can go there and I will run the tickets. And then people can send their address, and then I can send it to them. And if they don't want to dox their address, it's possible to send it to a PO box or something. I heard, or postal office, and you can pick it up there.
Yeah, there's a number of ways that someone can do that. Maybe they have know somebody who's happy to give their address, or maybe they don't claim the physical, and that's okay. But yeah, the number that's signed will go on chain with the on chain metadata as well. So there's always that tie-in. And recently, the inscribing team released the Sats cards, so they could even potentially buy a Sats card and then transfer the ordinal onto the Sats card, and then put the Sats card behind the frame and have it like digitally authenticated. And they travel around together. So that's kind of cool as well. That's something that I think is very special. Yeah. That's something I think is really special about physicals now, is obviously that authentication can be on chain. And that's like, that you can't, because obviously even in the traditional art world, there's fraud with authentication. You can't fake this because it's on chain and it shows you, that it was the first one, and it's, that it's by you and it has the correct number and all of that. Good stuff. So it's exciting. And like you said, there's so much of you in this collection. You've kind of like talked about, sharing love and spreading smiles and, emotion in your work, and a lot of what your dad taught you, and obviously inspirations with Michael Jackson. Obviously you're a very loving person. You have to be a loving person to be a teacher. I think also to have, 6 kids. Yeah. It's very special. So tell us about, when did you start creating this, and how was it making 777, 7-layered hearts? That's a lot of work. A lot of people, don't understand, and it's not through any fault of their own. That's why we do these sorts of interviews, to give context, because context in art is so important, as you know. But, how was this journey? Like, that's a lot of work. We talk about Bitcoin being proof of work. That's proof of work by ArtistDutch.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they are all like, well, you can see my size of the hand. It's like 5 inch by 5 inch. I think this is 5 inch by 5 inch, so it's a little bit longer, but you can see the thing. So it was like a lot of canvas. So I went not to a normal, where I buy my canvases, but I went to somewhere with the big rolls,
Yeah.
like a roll of canvas. So I bought like 3 rolls of canvas and then I rolled it all down and I was measuring it from how many can I put here on this and how many can I put on the floor, to make. And then I cut the whole big, so it was a whole project. It was not like normal, like, okay, I buy this and I can paint. No, I had to cut them all and to measure them all. And, I made with a little pencil, I made these lines that's, but you cannot see it. But if you look, you see it, but you can see it in the collection also. I'm so happy to drop it like next week because I just want to see how it is in the collection. But yeah, okay. But, yeah, it was, I had to make it and I did it in the evenings, of course, but because when my kids sleeping, I did that. And then, I was painting and I bought a lot of paint, a lot of, mixed media for the structure. So, yeah, and I made them all together and sometimes I made like 10 almost the same. So these colors, then I thought like, okay, I'm gonna do 10 the same, but I don't want to make them the same. So, constantly I took a little bit more blue or a little, less red, to make them all different. And then constantly think like, okay, now I'm gonna, I didn't do gold paint. So I bought gold paint and silver paint. So, somehow with gold, somehow with silver, somehow with, yeah, and then they were all ready and then they had to dry, of course. And then after like a long time, they were ready, I all cut, and then I put them all away, like 777, and then I had to number them. Then I went to my gallery, and I put them all down there. I made photos of it. Some I did frame, I put in the gallery. Some I gave away. I gave one to my mother. The first one I gave to my mother, my first concept, because I made 50 concepts before I really made the first one. So first studying how can I do it, what's the best. So the first ones, I have here one. These are not numbers, so as you see. So I didn't like this one. It was not like, the contrast was not good enough, So then if you see this one, it's better for me, but I don't know if you see it, but,
no, you can say, yeah.
Yeah. So these prototypes, there are 50 of them. I gave the first prototype I gave to my mother, and because I love her so much. She's a very loving person. She's 80 years old now, and she's constantly following everything that I did in my life. Like constantly always saying like, oh, "I'm so proud of you." That's very important that a mother and a father say, "I'm proud of you" to the kids. So I want to say to everybody who's listening. Please do that like right away tomorrow if they wake up. Like, I'm proud of you. It does so much for the kid, man. It's amazing what we can do for kids. So yeah, and I cannot wait to give the proceedings to that hospital, to go there and say like, okay, these kids have these heart failures, and to make them smile. So I try to do it myself. So go there. I will buy some hearts myself, and I will give it to them. To the kids, and I want to buy presents and give them the presents instead of sending it to like a donation charity or something. Maybe like Michael Jackson did it, or going to the Toys R Us, buying all kinds of candies and all kinds of and then give it personally to the kids, So I'm trying to do that and make videos of it and post it for all people to see. Like if you give. That it's just the best thing to do. Cannot explain better. That's it.
No, I completely agree. It's very powerful stuff. One of my good friends is a pediatric cardiologist, actually. So, as you know what that is, like for people who don't, a doctor who specializes in hearts in children. And it's, so there's nothing more important than kids. And like you said, telling them that you're proud of them, telling them that you love them, really helping them to become better people because they are the future. I love what this project stands for, but obviously, like I said, it really exudes ArtistDutch. Like it's almost like all of this sort of experience and, you know, everything you've gone through just in life, you know, positive, negative, and all around that is kind of like coming out in this project. So it's very special. We can't wait for it to go live. It goes live on the 11th, on Gamma. So excited to be working with you for this. And it's a pleasure to have you, as a partner artist as well. And also a huge pleasure to have been able to sit down with you today. So if there's anything that I haven't asked, please share. Otherwise, I think this is a great, time to wrap up. It's been I've, you know, gotten so much joy out of this conversation, Paul.
Oh, thank you, Brett. Yeah, it was, you really, asked the right questions, and you made me feel very, at ease, because I'm always a little bit scared for these kind of things with the video and everything, but you're a really cool guy. And, I can see that were a teacher also. Those are nice people, man. I can see it. So thank you very much for having me. And I hope a lot of people love the hearts, and they when they get it at their doorsteps and in the collection, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.